This is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words, and more, all inside of this tool, Descript. So let's get into it. Before we get started, make sure you download Descript. I put a link down in the description box below so you can find it there. For this process of creating videos using Descript, I like to use the acronym ICE. Because once we get through with this process, your video is gonna be ice cold. So let's start with letter I, import. Once we open up Descript, we'll need to create a new project. Then we'll need to import all of the video files that we need to create our video. To do this, you could simply drag and drop all of your files onto this space here, or you could choose a file to import. Once you import your files, you can have Descript automatically transcribe your content. Now our video is imported and we just want to select the type of project or the aspect ratio, which is going to be portrait, or vertical video, which is 9:16. And to fill the entire frame, you want to stretch it out. And now we're ready to move on to the next step. Assuming you did a perfect one-take recording, there's probably going to be a little bit of cleanup that we need to do. That brings us to step number 2. In step number 2, we're just going to clean up our video file, removing all the parts that we don't need, that we don't want, so that we have a nice, clean video file that we could post on social media. Because we have our transcription, all we need to do is edit the text that we have in front of us, and that will edit the entire video for us as well. In this recording, I did mess up a couple times, so I'm just gonna play that just so you could see what the raw format looks like. This is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words, and more, all inside of this tool, Descript. So let's get into it. Okay, so there you can see I had to restart a couple times, and that's absolutely no problem with Descript. Right away, I could see that I repeated this line. This is a sample video that I'm recording, and all I have to do is highlight that portion and hit delete. That's it. Now that portion of the video is removed, and if I hit play, this is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. And it's gone. So editing becomes very simple and very easy just by editing this like a Word document. Let's go on and make sure that we remove all of the mess ups and bad takes of this recording. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words, and more, all inside of this tool, Descript. So let's get into it. Much cleaner in that portion, all by simply making 2 cuts, and now we have a video that we can use and post on social media. But let's do some more cleaning up. One thing I like to do is to make sure that the front and back ends are trimmed so there's not a whole bunch of extra dead space at the beginning or at the end of the recording. This is a sample. So the front looks pretty good. But at the end here, we have a lot of dead space here. So all I'm gonna do is in the timeline, go to the very end and just click and drag this so that it cuts out that dead space. Descript. So let's get into it. Perfect. And let's say you also had parts that just don't add to the overall value of the video. You can just come in here, click, drag, and delete certain parts that are not relevant. That way you make sure that your video is precise and you cut out all of the fluff that you don't need. You want to make sure that your video gets straight to the point. It's providing value throughout the entire video, so that way your viewers can continue watching and you will have a higher retention rate on your content. So before we move on to the next step, I want to make sure that the transcription spelling is correct. This is going to be important for once we add captions to our video. To do that, all we have to do is click and highlight the actual text. Then we'll hit correct and we will type in what the correct spelling should be. Now that our video clip is clean, we can now move on to the next step in the process, which is enhance. Now there's several ways that we can enhance our clip inside of Descript. And one of the main and almost kind of necessary ways that we can enhance it is by using captions. This is really important for social media content because a large portion of content consumed on the social media platforms are without the audio. So if you don't have audio on your videos, it's going to be tough for people to really engage and consume your content. So by adding captions, it allows them to still get the gist and the point of your video while just reading the text on screen. And with Descript, it's really simple and easy to do that because number one, we have the transcription already, and two, they have a built-in captions feature that we can play around with right now. So to add captions to your video, you want to make sure that you highlight the entire transcript, or at least the portion that you want captions on. Then you'll come up to this T at the very top for text and select captions. And there's a couple different options that we have when it comes to captions. And for the style of captions that I like to use karaoke. And depending on the style that you like, you can adjust everything from the text color to the text size to the active word settings or future word settings. It really comes down to what your personal preference is and what you like your videos to look like. Typically for the entire text on screen, I like to stick with just a simple white font. And sometimes I will add a border to it, and you can see that kind of has like an outline for the text. This does help it to stand out a little bit more. So anywhere from say 5 to 15 is somewhere where I'll usually end up. That looks pretty good right there. For the actual text font itself, there's some that are built in to Descript, and you can also add your own fonts. And one that you see very popular on social media with the folks like Alex Hormozy and Ryan Pineda, Grant Cardone, is the bold font. And just like that, it's super easy to apply these captions. I'm gonna change just a few more things to dial in how I like these captions. This is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. So I like that a little bit better. It seems to pop out a little bit, and that yellow really helps for that active word to stand out on these captions. Now we can continue enhancing our project. And one of the things that we can do to enhance our project is to add B-roll. And Descript has its own stock library that we can access right here inside of the app. So to access this, we're gonna go to the top menu, hit media, and inside of this library, we have videos, GIFs, images, and even sound effects all inside of Descript. Pretty cool. So because we're talking about recording videos, let's just search record. And let's pick this one. And so I will start it at this word here. And now we've added that to our project. Now what we could do to edit this is we can, one, adjust the duration at how long this takes place. And because we have the transcription, it's easy for us to see where we want this to start and where we want it to end. And so you can also see this highlighted or reflected in the transcription. This little video segment is going to play over the video during these words right here. Now let's also adjust where this is on our video itself. I'm actually going to move our captions up a little bit. We can adjust the different properties of this B-roll clip. We have the rotation, obviously where it is on the screen, whether it has rounded corners or not. We can also add effects. There's a handful here that you can select. We'll leave that all the same. So let's add another piece of B-roll. Let's do one for create social media videos. We'll come back up to our media, and under videos, let's do social media. And let's select this one here. So again, I'm gonna hit Shift to start at a specific word. And because we already had that highlighted, it's gonna drop that to just those words that we previously selected. I'm just gonna drag this down here, adjust the size. I'll also adjust the rotation. And boom. How you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. And for this section here, because we mentioned Descript, I'm gonna pop up the Descript logo. So I'm gonna highlight that, come up to Media. And because this is a file that I've downloaded, I'm going to go to Files, Add Files from Computer, and I have it selected here. You can add the file, and boom, there we have it. Again, I'll adjust the size, make sure it's center, we're good to go. And to illustrate the next part with titles, we're gonna highlight that the transcription, we can add titles, we're gonna do insert, come down to text. We're just gonna type, this is a sample title. And we can move this around. We can even adjust the text on it. We want to switch this to something different. So with sound effects, let's take a look and see what we can add. So we're going to highlight sound effects, come up to our media tab, go to audio, sound effects, and we've got whip whoosh thick. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Oh yeah, I like that one. Those are all pretty good. So let's add this extra fast, actually whoosh lower pitch. Actually that one, I like that one better. Let's add this one. And we can adjust the sound level. There are some audio effects. We can do EQ. We can add some other effects like reverb, compressors. But for this sound effect, we don't really need to add anything except maybe just adjust the volume. So let's see what that sounds like. Descript. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words. I'm gonna add one more sound effect right after effects. Maybe a little ding if I can find one. A little chime. I like this one. Okay, let's see what that sounds like. Captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words. Pretty cool, I like that. The last enhancement feature that I want to talk about is Studio Sound. Studio Sound is an AI-driven effect that can really enhance the audio quality of your recordings. So to use Studio Sound, we'll come over to the inspector window, go to Audio Effects, and hit Studio Sound. And for this, it's going to apply to the entire video file. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to select certain parts that you want to use it or not. But in most cases, you're going to want to apply this to the entire video file. So let's listen to what it sounds like before and after we apply Studio Sound. This is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words. And after. This is a sample video that I am recording to show you how you can create social media videos using a tool called Descript. We can add titles, captions, B-roll, sound effects, even remove filler words, and more, all inside of this tool, Descript. So let's get into it. Pretty amazing work right there. Now, the last piece of the process is the export, which is really important because we want to make sure that we have the highest quality videos when we're uploading to the social media platform. Let's jump into our export settings. Once we're ready to export our video, we'll come up to Publish, and then we'll select the Export tab. And there's different options and different formats that we can use to export our video. We have a video here, but you can also export as an audio file, a GIF, a timeline if you want to continue editing in any of these other programs like Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere. You can also export the transcript as a whole or export as a subtitles file and upload that using another video editor. For the purpose of this video and this process, we're going to be exporting using our video format. And we want to export the current composition. That's going to be this entire section. Whatever is here in this transcript, that is our composition. Resolution, we want to keep at 4K or whatever the highest resolution that you recorded in. The quality, we want to keep high as well. All of that can stay the same. And we can keep metadata on as well. Then we can select the location for our video file and we'll just hit save. If you want to learn more about Descript and all of the other features that it has to offer, make sure you check out this playlist of other videos that I've recorded showing you how to do just that. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.